All right, Shalom. All right, I'm Zahab, GMS, Mississippi Camp. Giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Also giving double honor to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. And also saying peace and blessings, salutations to the elect. I'm Zahab, GMS, Mississippi Camp of Spirit Wind Judah. And today I want to go into an analogy. All right, there was an analogy I read years ago, and it went into basically the good side of you and the bad side of you, or what we know as the spirit and the flesh. All right, and basically, in short, there's a battle within you. You have a good wolf and a bad wolf, and the thing that determines who's going to win is which wolf you feed the most. All right, because animals eat, people eat to really invigorate them, to strengthen them. So the wolf that you feed the most is going to be the wolf that wins. So when it comes to your flesh, there's a war between your spirit and your flesh. And you have to remember this, and you have to internalize this, because there's always, whether it's an external force from the spirit world, situational things, or it's your own lust that's basically contrary to the pure word of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. All right. But without further ado, I'm going to get the scripture in Romans. This is Romans 7:21. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. But I see another law in my members, all right, warring against the law of my mind, okay, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. All right. So once again, I'm going to go to Romans 7:21 again. I'm just going to get 7:21. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. All right, because the inward man, he urges he seeks to please Yahweh Yahweh Shai. That's your spirit. All right, that's the angelic spirit you have in you that wants to be occupied in the word. But the way you invigorate that inward man, that spirit, is by what? Well, let's get Sirach 30:39-1, and excuse the lighting. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. So that's how you feed that good wolf. All right. But to further expound, and I'm going to close it out with this scripture. This is Romans 13:14, because once again, the way you win most of the battles, which you're not going to win every battle, but the way you weaken the bad wolf is to feed the good wolf. All right, if you don't feed the bad wolf, then you're going to weaken the bad wolf. The bad wolf being your flesh, the good wolf being the spirit in you. All right, Romans 13:14. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. But it says, and make not provision. What is provision? It's food. What do you do with food? You provide. All right, so provision is food. So basically, make not food for the flesh being the so-called bad wolf, to fulfill the lust thereof. So the way you win a lot of the battles, I say a lot because you're not going to win every battle. All right, sometimes you please the flesh, but the way you limit that evil wolf, or you weaken the wolf, is that you don't feed the evil wolf. All right, and then put that into context of everyday circumstances. Don't put yourself in an environment where the old man or the flesh is going to take over, man. And you know what I'm talking about. Or when you have nothing else to do, being idle is like feeding the bad wolf. It's feeding your flesh, because by default, when you have nothing to do, your flesh takes over, your carnal thoughts take over, and you start thinking about vain things, man. Now, we all have done this. We all go through it, man. It's a common temptation. All right. But when you, like I read in Sirach 39:1, when you occupy yourself in the prophecies and the meditation, the laws of the ancient, within his word, that's making provisions for the good wolf, which is going to dominate your flesh. All right. So it's not going to be perfect, but the way you dominate and you win most of the battles, or a lot of the battles, is the occupation, man. All right. The occupation in the word. So I'm going to read that again. Romans 13:14. But put ye on the Lord Yahweh Shai, and make not provision, which is food, for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. All right. But I hope you brothers were edified. Until the next lesson, shalom.